Know what it feels like to be fighting your body and not recognizing it, and everything that you were trying to do to keep in shape no longer working. Today I want to talk about why and how I coach my clients differently, especially when they're in perimenopause, because of it. So what I wanted to share with you is a little bit about my experience, and at 28 my body literally changed like that. And I didn't realize what was going on until recently when I read things like the body keeps score. Now my body was going through a lot of trauma at that time, and it just changed. Just life was happening, my dad passed away, but there was more to it. I'm not going to get into it on this video. And all of a sudden I had chronic pain. I was in and out of A&E every single month for 2 weeks of every month. I would be so depressed, PMDD. I really struggled to work and even get out of bed, even coach my clients because my periods were so bad. And I was gaining weight. I'll put some pictures up here. You can see how bloated my tummy was, and my weight was just going up. Now, for me as a coach, that was a big struggle. I'm coaching clients to get them in shape, and I cannot keep myself in shape. I was emotionally eating, I was absolutely exhausted. So what do? I would do more training, I would up my steps, I would eat less, and it was just making me worse. I was so burnt out, exhausted, emotional, that then I would emotionally eat. So obviously, I could not keep in shape. Now for me, this was a really hard time. And I thought, this is it, it's only downhill from here. I've got something, my body's changed, it's got something going on. And I used to think just like how women in perimenopause and probably other women that have endo and adenomyosis and PCOS felt. Anyway, I got diagnosed with endometriosis. The shift happened when I started doing less. I was reading some books on this, and it was all talking about rest and recovery, and in my head, how can I rest and recover when I'm getting fat? That was what was going through my mind. Anyway, I took a step back. I pushed with my training on the 2 weeks I could. I took a step back on the 2 weeks I couldn't. There were weeks that I could not get any training sessions in whatsoever because I was completely and utterly flawed, but I was listening to my body. I have to be honest, I did get medical help as well, and we did insert a merino coil, which helped big time. I can't even get over. For me, that changed my life. Now, it was really upsetting for me. I don't want to put hormonal things in my body. I really didn't want a coil in there. I nearly changed my mind, but they, were filling me in on the benefits and how much better I'm going to feel and how it's going to prevent me from certain things and to stop the tissue growing, etc, etc. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I want to get everything rechecked. I want to get this thing out because after reading the Body Keep score, I honestly believe it could have just been my body change throughout traumatic time, and now that I'm in a calmer place, it could be better, but we're not going to risk that just yet with a lot going on with work. Anyway, medical help, slowing things down, and just accepting that this is what it's going to be like for a little while, temporarily, until I can get my body in a better place to be pain-free. So that's what I did. So more sleep, less steps, less training intensity on those weeks I needed to. I went from feeling like I'm an absolute bloated mess, it's only downhill from here, I'm just going to keep getting fatter and fatter, never going to be able to have the energy again, to now, right? I've been training really hard, apart from recently because of my back injury. I've been able to train 6 times a week if I want to. I've been able to push myself in my training sessions. So just know it is possible. Now, one thing I will say in perimenopause, you can have weeks where you're absolutely smashing it, and then you can have a week where you feel absolutely exhausted. Nervous system is all out of whack. You're trying to push more, you're trying to put yourself into more of a deficit, and you're struggling, you're failing. And it's because there's certain times we do just need to take a step back. And this is why I train my clients differently. It is important to look at the nervous system. If you're stressed, if your mindset is all over the place, adding more stress to your body is not necessarily going to help you, but it's knowing when to take a step back because of that and pure exhaustion, and when actually it's your emotions taking over, right? We don't want to let our emotions take over. We want to always kind of focus on choosing discipline over our emotions. So I see so many people just stop all training because they're feeling sad, low, tired. Sometimes it's any emotion. If they want to celebrate things, so they're like, screw it, I'm going to take a month off and just celebrate. We want to make sure we don't let our emotions run the show, for sure, but we do want to know when our body is absolutely tanked and exhausted, and when we need to take it slower and take a step back. This way you're going to kind of recharge your batteries, get your nervous system in a good place to be able to push even harder when you can come back. What do I do differently when I'm working with clients that have PCOS, endo, or going through perimenopause? First of all, we work on the reframe, we work on their thoughts. Often they'll come to me like, it's only downhill from here, it's impossible, perimenopause, all the belly fat just sticks there. It's not true. I've helped hundreds of women now get rid of belly fat in perimenopause. The reality is you're just not doing the right thing. So we want to reframe. Instead of it's only downhill from here, it's not possible to lose weight, use I am getting stronger. I am improving my physique. It is possible, but if you keep telling yourself it's not, you're gonna self-sabotage. That's the fact. So the first thing I do with my clients is work on their mindset, and we continue to work on this throughout this journey, because you're gonna have weeks and months where you're like, yes, this feels amazing, I'm making amazing progress, and then you're gonna have a week where your brain goes, bing, this isn't working, I hate my body, I'm making no progress. So it's all about me picking my clients back up again, actually showing them the progress so that they can go again, because a lot of the time it's our mindset that we let get in the way. Next, for a lot of my women, I get them to ditch these scales. So I used to get everybody to, apart from if they had a bad relationship to the scales and they told me to weigh themselves. Now I'm not taking that risk. If anyone comes into my coaching, I will not tell them they have to weigh themselves. We look at measurements, we look at progress pictures. Reason being, I don't know if I'm going to get a client that is going to have a bad relationship to the scales, or already has a bad relationship to the scales, because everyone will always tell me, yeah, I'm okay weighing myself on this journey. But the reality is, for some people, they get fixated on it. And if it jumps up, which it will many, many, many times, even when you're doing everything right, they get into their head that they've failed and they self-sabotage. They may try and give up, they may just go, screw this, for a few days it's not working. So I honestly, especially in perimenopause where the weight is fluctuating so much more, I will not tell someone to weigh themselves. If you are someone that too has an emotional attachment to the scales, think about ditching it, because it is normal. When we're stepping on the scales, we are measuring our weight at that given time. You're going to have water retention, food in the gut. If you've had more salt, your weight can go up. If your sleep has been poor, it can go up. It's totally normal, right? It's not you gaining body fat. It's just at that time when you step on the scales, you're weighing more, right? And you've got to remember, you are not just a piece of body fat. Next, if you are someone like me that had endometriosis or has it, and you find that 1 week before your period, or when you're on your period, it is so heavy, painful, you're really struggling to do anything, just think about taking a step back on those weeks. If you've only got a certain amount of energy in your tank, and then you push really hard in training and you completely drain it, oh my God, does it make everything harder. Definitely makes nutrition harder. So just take a step back, okay? If, again, like I said before, no, is it your emotions, or is it actually physically you feel battered? If it's your emotions, I highly recommend you still get up, you still train. If it is you are absolutely battered, I recommend you prioritize recovery. So going for a walk, stretching, just taking it down a notch for that week. And then once your period's out of the way and you're feeling good, you can push harder on those other weeks. Same goes when it comes to a calorie deficit. That week before your period, I often, with my clients, if they need it, bring their calories up a little bit. For some people, they're burning more calories anyway. For some people, that is just making their deficit smaller. But what I'm trying to do is avoid binges and overeating episodes. This is why I do that. And whenever I was dieting, and actually I dieted for this photo shoot with really bad endo symptoms, I didn't even put myself in a deficit that week before my period. I physically couldn't. I took myself out and pushed for 3 weeks of every month, and that's just what worked for me. I actually don't agree with the whole changing your training around your cycle. I think that's a load of rubbish. I think you should still just be doing your cardio, your walking, your strength training, but you just dial it down a notch. And if you have really bad endo symptoms or adenomyosis, I can never say that word, or perimenopause symptoms, just look at having maybe training less that week. That's it. But again, just know when it's your emotions or if it's actually your body and everything feels out of whack and you're exhausted. Protect your sleep. Oh my God, this is the most important one. People are not doing it and they're doom scrolling every night. Stop, go get a brick device. I'm gonna put it here, I have one of these, to just shut your phone off, right? Sleep is so, so, so important. With endo, PCOS, with everyone. I don't know what I'm talking about. Everyone needs to protect their sleep. It makes a dieting phase so much harder. Your hunger hormones are gonna be sky high, and cravings are going to be higher. You're just not going to feel as good. So we need to protect our sleep. Set up a good sleep environment. Try to get at least 7 hours sleep per night. Try to avoid blue light an hour before bed. Try not to eat so close to bed. Like, think about what you can do to improve your sleep, because I'm telling you, this is going to make the journey so, so much easier. Prioritize protein and strength training. Please just try not to do all the HIIT jumping around classes. That's not going to help your symptoms. Now, right now, if you're going through perimenopause, it obviously means you are going to be in your late 30s onwards. Now, we start to decrease muscle mass each year. Now, we want to avoid that as best as we can to prevent osteoporosis and to make sure we can keep our independence as we age, avoid injuries. make sure our bone density is in a good place. And protein, eating enough protein and strength training is what is going to do that. So if you are not doing that, I highly, highly, highly recommend, I can't even stress enough, that you work with someone to help you out, to teach you how to do that. It's never too late, right? I've got clients in their 50s and their 60s working with me at home with just a set of adjustable dumbbells. In fact, most of my clients are working with just a set of adjustable dumbbells at home, sending me technique videos, and it's amazing to see the transformation. They're so grateful that they've gone from not being able to do any strength training to now doing it 3 times a week consistently at home. They're noticing their strength, their balance, everything improved, their confidence. So I have to stress, if out of all of these, do focus on this. Stress does not have to block your fat loss goals. So many people say, I'm too stressed, I can't do it, my body's gonna hold on to fat. No, it's not true, right? We all have stress in our lives. You can absolutely still get in shape with stress. Yes, I highly recommend some stress management tools and blocking out some quiet time for yourself and look at what is stressing you out, what can you do to improve that. I don't agree with stopping training when you're stressed. I feel like it is going to help you with your endorphins, it's going to help you feel good, it's going to help you feel more productive. So I just want to stress that stress doesn't have to be getting in the way of your goals. It only will if you tell yourself it has to be. Next, set a realistic plan. Oh my God, I've had so many women that are deep in perimenopause, all these symptoms, come to me and show me the plans that they used to be on with other coaches, and they're being put on bodybuilder plans, essentially. Training 5 to 6 times a week, also adding in cardio on top of that, and they've just felt like failures because they can't fit it in with their life. It's just burning them out. Now, okay, it would be great if we could all train like that, but we don't all have that time. We are not all athletes. I don't even train like that, and I love the way of bodybuilding training, and I love shaping my body, but realistically, I've got other responsibilities and that I need to put into my time into. So instead of trying to train 5 to 6 times a week, just try and do 3 30-minute sessions per week. I would then look to build them up. Now, if you're coming from nothing, just start trying to fit in 2 sessions and build it up from there. Stop trying to stick to plans that are just not realistic for you and your body. Another big one here is accountability and support. I honestly, hand on my heart, believe the reason why I get such great results with my clients is the accountability and support side of things. They've all seen these videos like this. They've all got their plans. They've tried cookie cutter plans. You can get all the information you need online, albeit yeah, you can personalise it. You can use AI tools to personalise it. But why are people not sticking to it? They're second guessing everything. They're not sticking to it when life, goes tits up, when life changes. The plans need to be flexible for you. And a lot of the things I see is people flapping in being reactive. Instead of going, okay, I can't do this week, well, we're going to do this instead. Because in your head, you believe you're failing. The reality is there is so much you can do to change a plan across the week to get you progressing with less time or more stress, etc. So accountability and support and having someone in your corner to say, okay, this is happening this week, I want you to do X, just makes it so much easier. Or when you're having those moments of wanting to give up, which you are gonna have so many times on this journey, you've got someone in your corner to remind you of why you're doing it, what we're going to do to take away some overwhelm and make it all feel easier. It's a game changer. The reality is, for me, one thing I say to my clients is the reason why you're not going to fail is because I just want to make this feel easy. If you're telling me it doesn't feel easy and you feel overwhelmed, I am changing it so that you can progress in a way that it feels easier. Now, we do need to put in some work, I have to add that there, but you shouldn't be feeling massively overwhelmed. Hopefully that was helpful, going through what to focus on. If you are going through endo, adenomyosis, PCOS, you're struggling with your emotions going up and down, you're going through perimenopause, the plan should be flexible to you. Yes, focus on these key things: sleep, rest and recovery when you need it. Listen to your body, make sure that it is actually your body and that if your nervous system's feeling out of whack and it's not just your emotions. Because otherwise, if you always let your emotions run the show, you're never going to get anywhere. Strength training, making sure you're eating enough protein, fibre is also super important, and just trying to get someone in your corner to have a little bit of accountability and support. It can feel so lonely on this journey, but no, you don't have to stick to a fixed plan. You need to adapt it around what is going on with your body and how you're feeling. In my opinion, having had endometriosis, which took over my life, and I couldn't train the way that I could. So this is why I train my clients differently, why I feel like I give even more support than most, always checking in on energy levels. to see if I need to adapt it. Always checking in on mindset and the thoughts. I'm always asking, how are you feeling about the journey right now? To just quickly catch it before it turns into something that's going to cause you to give up. So that is all I want to say. Anyway, have a lovely day. If you want to join my Facebook group I've created for women over 35 that want to thrive as they age, just click the link in the description. Now this is new, and as I get more and more people into it, I'm going to create challenges, do live webinars. At the moment I'm just chucking in some freebies, but it's a place for you to just jump in and ask any questions you have on your journey, and me or any of the other members will help you out. Anyway, have a lovely day.